Welcome back to the RuleBook. I'm your host, Alex Palmer, and I'm the queen of learning things the hard way so you don't have to. On this podcast, we're talking about the mistakes I made and the lessons I learned along the way to create the rules I now live by. On each episode, we'll be discussing a new rule, how I created it, why it came about, and how you can apply it in your own life. So let's get into it. Welcome back to the RuleBook, episode number 22. To blue check or not to blue check, that is the question. I do apologize that my voice sounds like this, but hey, maybe you prefer this version of my voice. I don't know. Either way, last week I was extremely sick, so I was unable to put out an episode, which hurt me more than it hurt you. Trust me. I am the type of person who despises inconsistency because once I'm inconsistent one time, the odds of it happening again freaking double, and I'm not about that life, okay? So I'm going to power through this episode even though my voice hurts because I think it's an important one. I missed you guys a bunch and I'm happy that you're tuning back in. So this week I want to talk to you about the infamous blue check. Elon Musk has had everybody in a freaking dizzy over this for months and months. Twitter is now going to have users pay for verification, and I guess that's trickled down onto the other social media platforms. You may have noticed last week that everybody and their mother on Instagram now has a blue check next to their name. This is not accidental. Everybody swiped their credit card, and for $15.99 a month, they were verified overnight, seemingly. Okay, what the hell does this all mean, though? A blue check used to be a symbol of somebody's like big deal status, right? So if you had a blue check on Twitter next to your name, it was because you had a large following or you were a public personality or a celebrity of some sort. Now, this is no longer the case. And people who had a blue check, Twitter has started to remove them if they do not have subscriptions to the blue check. On Twitter, the price is going to be $7.99 a month. And a lot of celebrities like LeBron James and even the New York Times have said, we are not paying for this. We're going to opt out. And they're going to be shit out of luck. They're going to lose their blue check. But what are the perks of having a blue check, you may ask? The perks are apparently, at least on Instagram, your content will be pushed out to more people. Obviously, having the blue check, I think just having like a little thing by your name just visually helps. I know it's silly, but I'm sure it's something psychological to that as well. And also just what the blue check has traditionally symbolized, which is someone who is verified and is who they say that they are. With that being said, on Twitter as well, if you already have 1 million followers, I guess you're not going to be super worried about your content being pushed out at the top of the platform. So for celebrities and the New York Times and people like that who are deciding to opt out, it doesn't really matter. But what about the little guys? What about the rest of us? This is what I think. If everyone and their mom is now verified, then what's the point? Rule number 22, don't pay for what's free. Social media is a place for us to be social. It was a place for us to connect virtually and share what's going on in our daily lives with people we already know. Now, it's quite the opposite. There's tons of ads on the platform. There's this algorithm that everybody is freaking worried about that is telling us what we should be seeing on our feeds and putting what it thinks we want to see on our feeds. Most of us follow people that we admire, not necessarily people that we know in real life. And that's fine because I too use social media for entertainment purposes and to share my work with strangers and other people, not necessarily to share it with friends and family who probably don't support you anyway or your content. But that's neither here nor there. So I don't have a problem with that part. But paying these companies for the content that we already generate for free seems like such a reach to me. I'm also personally annoyed at the timing. There's a looming recession, or we are in, because no one can freaking make up their minds whether or not we're in a recession or not. But inflation is at an all-time high. That's a fact. And now is when these companies have turned around with their hands outstretched towards us, asking us for money. Are you joking? Netflix even announced that they're going to end the ability to have multi-accounts on one subscription, meaning you and your friend or you and your mom can't share a Netflix account anymore. You're going to have to pay for your own Netflix account. Come on. If that's not making you want to join the revolution, I don't know what will. The gap between the middle class and the rich is widening every single day. And the more that people in this country become disillusioned with the American dream, now is just not the time to charge for Instagram and Twitter. College grads can't make enough money to pay off their student debt. Millennials can't own property. We're forever renters. People can't pay for daycare. Women are leaving the workforce. France is upping the retirement age. There's rising medical costs. There's no fucking universal health care in this country. And they're even talking about cutting Social Security. Are you effing for real? Tech companies and social media giants. Now is not the time to start charging us for what has always been free. There's only one word to describe all of this, and the word is greed. When the cost of everything is rising and it's becoming more and more difficult to be an individual in this country to keep up with everything, this is when the tech giants turn around and tell us they're gonna freaking charge us. That's totally insane. Next time, billionaires who we made, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, turning around and telling us we need more from you. Are you kidding? This goes into a larger conversation about the way that artists are treated in society. But just the fact that Instagram recently did away with their Reels creators bonus program speaks volumes, because Instagram was paying creators, albeit a very tiny amount, for their views on their Reels. A Reel is a video. And now they've decided to end the program. So Instagram doesn't pay its creators, nor does it have any plans in the future to do so. That is enough to make me want to leave the platform, honestly. TikTok too. The TikTok Creator Fund is a joke. Unless you have maybe like a bajillion followers, you're not able to really have sustainable income off of these platforms, and that sucks. So I think it's bullshit that now these platforms have figured out a way to monetize us even more when we're over here struggling on how to monetize our own content. It's 2023. There should not be any such thing as a starving artist in our lifetime anymore. There's billionaires, and social media has made millionaires and billionaires off their platforms. And then there's the fucking rest of us who are going to pay $15.99 a month to put our own creativity on the platform. It squelches the artists. It fucks up our creativity, and it makes it more and more impossible to be a creator. There's obviously a lot of competition right now, and there's numerous obstacles every single day popping up in terms of monetizing our content, whether that is them removing the creator fund or constantly changing the algorithm or telling us, oh, we're focusing on pictures versus videos now. Actually, we're going to go back to focusing on videos, so who cares about your pictures? What the hell is going on? Because they're always just competing with each other. Not to mention the hellscape that social media has become with the influx of nasty comments that creators receive from random troll accounts. And there's obviously no moderation of these comments. So the toll that it takes on someone's mental health, even when they do post, it's not sustainable at the end of the day. And social media is becoming its own version of the American nightmare. So before you fucking turn around and pay for a blue check, think about it. Why should you pay Instagram when Instagram doesn't even want to pay you? A lot more things have come out about social media in the press, whether that was like with the whistleblowers over at Facebook, just all the data surrounding the negative implications of constant use of social media with teenagers. And then this has also been a larger conversation in terms of loneliness and how we relate to each other. So I think the more that we take a step back and look at what these platforms are doing to us as a whole, the more it leaves a bad taste in our mouth. The more we realize, oh, actually, we're the ones being exploited by these platforms. And this whole blue check thing is just another slap in the face. I, for one, am not going to be buying a blue check. I'm sorry, I'm not. I think I made $100. Full disclosure, I made like $100 in the Reels bonuses 2 months ago. And I was like, yay, woohoo me. Because if you can make $1 on the internet, you can make $1 million on the internet. I heard somebody say, I don't remember who, but I'm just saying, and boom, that rug was quickly ripped out from underneath me as well. So do I have hope for social media and monetizing it when, I don't know, I wonder if the golden age is over. I mean, there was an article in the New York Times that came out about this girl who was like life after influencing, something like that. And she talked about how she stepped away from it because there was just this constant pressure to post, this constant pressure to get the next gig, to get the next brand deal. And also just the comments and the constant criticism from her followers for saying or doing whatever, because we're all hypocritical at the end of the day. But so whatever she did do or didn't do, she was always under the microscope. And that constant pressure made her run in the direction of a 9-to-5. So I think it's really an interesting conversation. But if you ask me, the blue check has become completely meaningless, especially now for the fact that it's not something you earn, it's something you purchase. I understand that creators always want to have an edge, and you can potentially purchase an edge through paying for this blue check. I kind of just don't think it's worth it. And there's also just been so much conflicting information about whether the check actually will help your content be pushed to the top of the page or not. So I just don't trust anything that they're saying. And I think that while some businesses may think that this is the right move for them, and perhaps it is, I think for the average creator, it's just another negative. It's just another cost prohibitive thing about being an artist in today's society. And I think during the pandemic, we were all really excited because we were like, oh, everyone's talking about how now's the time for creatives. Now's the time for the writers. Now's the time for the artists to take control of their own career trajectory by putting their content on the internet. And more, these tech giants and these social media social media app owners and creators have made it that much harder for us to be in control of our content. I mean, and owning the rights to it and figuring out how we monetize our work, our creativity. So continue fighting that good fight and screw $8. $15.99? No, I think the fuck not. You should pay me $15.99 to continue to be a user on your platform. What do you guys think? Are you going to follow rule number 22? I apologize for my voice this episode. I hope that you were able to get through it. Also, DM me about any topics you'd like for me to cover and create a rule about. Thank you guys for checking out this episode of The Rulebook. I'm Alex Palmer. Follow me at Serious Actress. Bye, guys.